So you have had a reading before then. Awesome. I felt just really drawn to give you one after we met at the restaurant that day. And I put on my Instagram and I was like, you found me. So that's awesome.
I know. I love it. Well, do you know what? When I seen you, I was like, should I say something? And then you were outside by yourself. And I thought, I'm going to go and have a chat. I felt like I needed to. So yeah, I'm glad I did.
It's hard. It's always hard to get used to people like recognizing me. Like I don't think of myself like that at all. And when I go out, people will stop me, but more or less they talk about my memes above anything else. Like above anything else, the podcast or anything. They're like, I love your memes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'll just give you a little bit of background, bit of education. We have about 45 minutes together in total between the reading and just kind of chatting. That's as long as I typically work, to be honest with you. So yeah, what I do is very simple. There's energy all around us. We all have the ability to tune into the energy around us. And I've just fine-tuned that skill specifically to mediumship and also psychic work. So I'm able to kind of tune into your energy. But the area of interest, so I'm talking about psychic work, so it's probably going to come up today. So the way that I work psychically is I don't do predictive work. Every time I say that, predictions come up. So we'll see. I'm really interested in understanding how you think, how you tick, all the kind of barriers that keep us from living a truly expansive life in our highest potential. So the information that the soul typically reveals to me are different maybe experiences you've had or different things that have come up that are keeping you from living your best life. So that's the area of interest that I like to work in. So I don't do anything fear-based. I do truly believe that, what we think about and what we give attention to, we create more of. So I've always been very conscious about the energy that I tap into and the purpose behind the work that I'm here to do. And so I only really get amazing information. If anything comes up that would appear to be negative, it's just something that Spirit reveals because we need to shed some light on it to move forward, right? But that's about it. So nothing to be really nervous about. I'm super normal, not scary at all. So that's all I do. I just kind of become aware of the energy around me and then just bring forward information. Now Spirit does mostly communicate through my feelings and my thoughts. So the way that I bring the information through will be a word like that. You'll hear some medium say, I see, or I hear. I feel a lot of the information that comes through. So that's how I receive it. And it's easier for me to connect in that way. So just be open to whatever comes through. Very often people have epiphanies after the session. So if something doesn't make sense right away, keep it with you. Might make sense later. It might not. Because the truth is I'm not 100% accurate all the time. Actually, I'm never 100% accurate. So just take with you what you get. All right.
Okay.
Okay. And I will leave some space near the end to get you to ask questions if you want and if there is time. So can I just get you to start by spelling me your first and last name?
Okay. It's Lianne Mccar.
Okay, so give me 1 second here, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with the female energy because she's been around all day pretty much. I'm like, don't talk to me yet. I was like, I get thrown off if you talk to me. So she does feel like mother and mother's mother. Okay. So I need to go to mom's side for sure. Now she was like, kind of like, I'll give you a couple of things because there's a bit of a dichotomy here with this energy. One, she feels very religious to me or very strict, but two, she like swore a little bit. Like I hear her kind of like using cuss words and I'm like, oh, so there's like a bit of feistiness to her. Very sharp tongue. She's somebody who you could not boss around. very matriarchal, like even there's a man around, like even the man couldn't really boss her around, you know what I mean? Like, but she feels very old school to me. She feels very traditional. So you see what I mean by the dichotomy? I'm like, she's giving me these
Yeah.
emotions around being very devout. I would want to say Catholic, or something along those lines, but she swears. You know what, I hear this phrase and I saw it on TikTok once and it made me laugh and it's coming up to me. She's like, in heaven. You know what I mean? Because you hear that phrase, like fighting for my place in heaven.
Yeah.
Um, because she also makes me feel, do you have two brothers or are there two boys? I don't know if I'm connecting you mom or grandmother. Is your mom still here though?
No.
Okay. They
No,
might
but
both be here. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. As I'm tuning in, that I might be jumbling some of the information because I definitely feel that there are two here, but they are similar. I also feel like they have a same name. So whether it's like a middle name that's been passed down or something, but do you know your mom and her mom to share a name?
they don't, but my mum and sister do.
Okay. Because does it start with an E?
No.
Okay, because I don't know why I'm hearing the name. Just keep it with you. Okay, I'm hearing like Evelyn or Ev something. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you? Okay, so I'm hearing that. So just keep that with you. I'm also, yeah. So I'll see if any more comes through with that. But I was hearing like Evelyn or something like that. Okay, does that make
Yeah.
sense for these two?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, so just know that there's that. They're very similar, but mom would say, no, I'm not. But they feel like they look the same too. There's a lot of similarities between them, okay? A lot of
hmm
similarities. Now, I want to reference two boys. So I don't know if mom had two boys or grandma had two boys, but there's two boys I have to reference. Do you understand this? Because I know you're a girl, clearly.
No, I
Okay.
don't actually. I'm interested in getting to the bottom of that.
Sure. Okay. I need to reference two males. So just keep that with you. I'll see what comes up with them.
Okay.
Now, when I tune, I feel like it's grandmother. Was I describing grandmother as far as you're aware with like the religion and the sharp tongue? Is that right?
So
Okay.
spot on. That's my granny.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm feeling about her. Now, I do feel with her, she either had a stroke or something with the heart or both. She was
Yeah.
making me feel. Do you understand this? And she
Mhm.
makes me feel too that there was an inability to communicate clearly at the end as well, which like killed her, because this woman loved to talk. And she was like, literally, like, she makes me feel like she's still bossing people around with the thoughts, like all around her. I love her. I love her energy. I'm like, I wish more women had that kind of sovereignty, I would say, with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She also brings me to a lot of memories about simplicity in her life. She did like simplicity in her life. I feel like even the food she cooks, she shows me very simple. She's like, I love stews, making my bread, like different things. And she really makes me feel I was complicated, but I really love the simplicities in life. And she did try to simplify things. She also makes me feel like she had a really bleeding heart. Like she really wanted to help people. I feel that she would have been very involved in her community or her church in some way. Do you understand this?
Mhm.
Like donating her time, and even like cooking for other people is kind of what she makes me feel. So, um,
Okay.
a very, this is how come she feels so complex to me, because there is this side to her, but the family would see her totally different, like they experience her totally different than other people would have.
Yeah.
Um, now, did she have three kids? Because
I know that she had two, my aunt and my mum, and I think that she lost a kid
yes.
before she had those guys. So I think her first was maybe stillborn or miscarriage.
Thank you for validating that, because she wanted to bring me to three. Now, I do feel she passed some time ago. Like I feel
Mhm.
like that she's been gone quite a long time. She was also making me feel like this may be the first time she's come through. So I'm not sure if in a previous reading, but she's like, the way she's making me feel, like saying like I'm doing pretty good actually, considering this is like my first showing. And the feeling that she gives me around you is very much like don't forget the strong line of women that you come from, okay? Because she makes me feel that it's important for you to know that the women in your lineage on her side have overcome incredible, um, I want to say the word she's giving me, but I don't know how to say it's like adversary or not like an adversary, but this is the word she's bringing me. It's like we've overcome a lot in
Mhm.
our lineage and you have all that to call upon. And so she sees you as a very strong woman in that lineage as well. But she is making me feel, and this might come through more psychically, that you've been through a lot in the past 3 years, um, that have maybe made you question your personal power, right? And
Yeah.
so just know that she is bringing that, and I think that that will end up coming through cyclically. But she's like, don't you forget who you come from, right? Very, very strong. She's very, very strong.
That's great.
Um, Now I have to tap into mother's energy here. Did she unfortunately pass from cancer or like a longer term like illness that was like blood related? Do you understand
Mm,
this?
that was my granny.
Was that your granny? Okay.
Yeah, but she did also have heart and different health issues throughout her life. But it was the cancer that took her.
That was granny.
Yeah,
Okay. So I kind of want to tune into mom. Does the name Mary make sense to you or Marie? Okay, is that connected to mom?
yeah.
Okay, you got great communicators. I don't get names very much. And so they're coming through with all the names today. Um, and she takes me the month of August being very significant for her, whether that's around passing or birth. Do you understand this as well?
Yep.
Okay. Her energy is much softer. Her energy is much more like serene and peaceful, like less hard. You know what I mean? I love
Yeah,
Granny. I love
yeah.
Granny. But mom comes in almost singing. And I don't know if she had a reference to singing of some kind or if you have memories of her singing, but her voice feels very sing-songy to me.
Mhm.
It's like a melody. It's
Yeah.
very, very beautiful. Um, can you validate, because what she's showing me, I'm seeing this the way that she's showing it to me, but she's showing me you being by her bedside as she's terminally ill. Do you understand this? Like, were you able to go to her and be by her bedside?
Not my mum.
Okay.
Yeah, but my gran.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because I feel very much it's mom showing me this. So
Yeah.
in saying that, that's okay. So it's like me having to kind of like play charades with them a little bit. I'm like, why are you showing
Mhm.
me her by your bedside? Because the sensation that she's giving me is like she felt you there. So whether you couldn't get there or couldn't be there with her, it's really important to know that her experience of it is like you were there, right? Like
Okay.
so there's like this soul connection that we have. And sometimes if we just like place a thought to another soul, like they can pick it up and sense it. And so she felt you there. And so I feel that at some soul, maybe other dimension level, like you were there, and that's
Yeah,
her experience of it.
that makes
So
sense.
hopefully that brings you a little bit of comfort, that she didn't
It
feel
does.
alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that what's came up there is maybe my mum trying to comfort me, because I wasn't there when my gran passed, but both my sisters were. And
So there's
I
3 of you.
did think about that before today.
Yeah.
It's something that
Okay.
I've been carrying with me for a while. So I appreciate hearing that. Thank you.
Honestly, that's awesome for me. I mean, I sent you that email yesterday. Talk to them, tell them what you want them to hear. And here she is bringing that through, right?
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
the whole point of mediumship is to bring closure to things and bring some healing around different situations. Now, I feel like she was a good mom. I feel like, I don't know why. I don't feel like she was a single mom, but I feel that she did it a lot of it alone. You know what I mean? Is how she makes me feel.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and she did a really good job. Like, and she can see that now because the way she makes me feel is that when she was here, she was pretty hard on herself, is how she makes me feel. Like, could have done more, not good enough. But you need to know that her reflection on the life she had here is one where she did, I did a good job. And actually, I did a lot alone. And so it's
Yeah.
really important for you to understand that she looks back on her experience with you. Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
Are you the oldest? Okay, because
Yeah.
there's the reason why I asked that is because she kind of singles you out in a way. So she makes me feel that the other sisters were able to like experience a little bit more, whether it was like the way she's showing me because of my children is like playing sports or lessons of some kind, but you kind of weren't able to participate in a whole lot. Do you understand that?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so she kind of singles you out and she says sorry for that,
Oh,
right? Because I feel like I don't know why I picked you as the youngest, is because it's like, it's third child, right? Or second child kind of
yeah,
thing. But it's almost like you've had this independence to you is how she makes me feel for such a long time. Like she was just like, oh, she'll be fine. Oh, she'll be
yeah.
fine. And then the other kids just required like a little bit more attention, you see, right? And so she
Mhm.
actually realizes now, and she brings this through very clearly to me, that she wished she hugged you a little bit more. And she wished she showed you that personal attention a little more. She makes me feel like she was really busy. And it might have appeared like more attention went to the others,
Yeah,
but it was because she trusted you so much, and like you just always had this like strength to you that she didn't see in herself. It was
yeah,
more like granny.
for sure.
It
Yeah.
was her
No,
mentality.
I
Mhm.
get that. Yeah.
Understand that. So um has it been 5 or 7 years since she passed? Has it been
It's been let me think. I think it was 15 years.
15 years? Okay, I don't know why I keep getting number 5 and 7, so I'll just leave that. Sometimes the numbers are the harder things to bring through because you're like, what is it? Keep it with you, those two numbers. They could be dates or something, 5 and 7. But I want to
Five
see what
and
else you can tune into here. Now I know you're from Scotland, right? Glasgow. She was over there, is that correct?
yes.
Because when I'm asking her, I was like, well, what memories do you share with her? That's one of my favorite things to bring through in readings. And honestly, it might not sound incredibly fun, but she shows me you going with her to take errands. You know what I mean? Like go to the grocery store, like go pick things up. It's like she would prefer to take you along with her as her company. You know what I mean? You as a kid would have been like, I don't want to help you with that. That's like a
Yeah.
chore, right? But for her, it was like, it was her way of having quality time with you,
Yeah.
taking you with her. And she really loved that time. And she shows me her bringing you to the store with her. And there's a lot of tradition to your family. I don't know why I'm getting these like traditional symbols, like she's carrying like a basket to the market kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right. Like, I don't know what you're trying to show me there, but it's a very pure feeling I get, like an innocent feeling I get around it. She has all
Yeah.
that. She also makes me feel that when you were leaving, there may have been a bit of a conflict between you two around that. Do you understand that? Like she didn't want you to go, or she didn't understand why you were going. And like you had to leave things a little bit with loose ends. Do you understand that with mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's just kind of wanting to know it's okay. Like, I know that you know because you guys had many conversations after that. She just wanted to recognize that that did occur. And she's really happy that you got to go and have those different experiences. Because I feel very much that the rest of the family kind of stuck around.
Yeah.
But here you go, Lianne, the adventurer. And you're like, there's things I got to do and things I got to see. And
Yeah.
I think she always knew that that day was going to come with you, which is why she's also making me feel that could have been why there was like a little bit of a distance between her and you and your upbringing. She just kind of always knew that you were going to leave. I look at my kids and I know my daughter's not going to be with me forever. I know she's going to be traveling and taking off. That's just her energy and her personality. And I
Yeah.
feel very much that your mom's bringing to my awareness that she also knew that.
Yeah.
And so she
She
knew
would
that
she
day was
would
going to come.
she would tell me this too. She says it's a big world out there. If anything, you should go
Yeah.
and explore it. So I took that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. What a beautiful validation from her. It's really interesting the stuff that they're bringing through. I absolutely love that. So
Yeah.
all this is just to say, life continues. She still like sees all this and experiences all this. And I will say that the essence that she gives me to you is just one of like pure love. Like there's no there's no hangups, there's no restriction. Like it's just one of absolute love for you. Now, can you validate, did you get married and then unmarried since she's been passed? Or was there
No,
like a relationship and then like it fell apart since she passed a little bit? Was there anything like that?
um, I'm trying to think what that could be. I have had a few relationships that have broken up,
Mhm.
um, but I have never been married.
Because when I'm asking her, so what I'm asking her is like, what have you seen of her life since you've gone home, right? I consider where we go home.
Mm-hmm.
And what she kind of brought to my awareness was like this like relationship, and then it didn't work. And to me, I felt it very much like a marriage, and kind of celebrating you for not sticking around. Okay.
Okay.
Because yes, okay, I'll leave that there for now. See if this kind of tunes in. Do you also have a son? Do you have a child? Like, do you have a son?
Yep.
Okay. Um, Now I'm just going to throw a name out there. I don't know if this is tied to you or child or father, but is there like an Eric or Derek involved around son? If
No.
not, that's okay. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
throw it out there because they were giving me names before, and we'll see what happens. But I have to give reference to this boy that she sees since she has passed as well. And is he around the age of 5?
Yes.
Okay, so I think
Yep.
that's where the 5 could be coming
That
in
was
then.
the number. That's
Okay,
what I thought too. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So she brought that in again. And it's important for you to know, like, this is a firm spiritual belief of mine, but she is bringing it in that she did get to meet him on the other side. And she did get to be with him before he came in. Okay. It's really important for you to know that, because I think that that's something that you've thought about quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. We had an emergency birth with my son, an emergency C-section,
Mm.
and he didn't cry initially. Um, so we thought, the worst. Um, and then since then, I know that they've been together. I know
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And she still sees him, and she was definitely with him even before he came in, and she got to meet him, and he's very aware of her. He knows of her. I don't know if you
Yep.
have a lot of stars in his room, but for some reason I want to put like a lot of stars around him. Is there like an interest in space, or is there a lot of stars in his room? Do you understand this? Because there's 2 things she's bringing me: stars and soccer, which I think you guys call football.
Yeah. I don't know about the stars, but he does play soccer.
Okay.
And I know that Murph, personally, I know that he is intuitive for sure.
Yeah, I feel like he just has like this really natural awareness of her.
Yeah.
And she also actually brings me, I hope you know what this is. If not, you'll know what it is when you see it. But she takes me to pictures of him very little, like baby, 18 months, and there's lights in the pictures. I feel
Oh
like
my God.
she's made herself aware in pictures for you.
Yes. Yeah. And even recently we had a dance party, and that was one of the questions that I had was when I looked back on the video, there was just orbs shooting around my children everywhere, and I loved it. And I instantly sent it to my sister. So I wanted to know if that was the
Yeah, so that's her way of, I love it when that happens. And that's why I get people to ask questions at the end, because my hope is that she'll bring through what you have been talking to her about. And so this is just like another example. So she definitely shows me that. And she also, she either brings, well, I'm seeing flowers and I'm smelling flowers. Okay. So I don't know if there's like, you recognize specific flowers with her. Like I'm seeing a rose, I'm seeing like a rose, and really getting that scent of a rose. But is there like some connection you have with her and that?
Yeah, rose is my favorite flower, and Rosie is my little girl.
Okay.
And then I have a specific flower that my mum loves, that when I see it reminds me of her, which
Okay.
is a tulip. So
Okay, because I was seeing two things. I was seeing a yellow flower and a rose. Okay, so but I had to say rose first because that's definitely what I was smelling. And what an intelligent way to recognize your daughter as well. The name
yeah,
Rose.
wow,
I love it.
yeah.
Is your daughter younger?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, yeah, there's a dancer in her. I know you just talked about dancing, but it's like, I don't know if you already have her in ballet or something like that, but like I'm seeing like a dancer in her,
Yeah,
very, very artistic.
yeah.
Um, and a sweetheart, I would say. Her demeanor with your little one is your girl is very sweet. I would want to put her down as sweet. Um,
Mhm.
but she's also showing me, I don't know if this recently happened, but she's showing me like a girl like in a doorway with like pigtails and like having an absolute hissy fit.
Yes.
So she makes me feel like she is stubborn, as stubborn can be.
Yes.
um and I don't know if she's a Scorpio, but I keep hearing the word like Scorpio energy. I'm like, okay, I get it. But she is showing me like her kind of having hissy fit, but it's like too cute, you can't get mad, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
um Did one of your kids recently have to get glasses or get their
Uh,
eyes checked?
um. No.
Okay.
But
See if that kind of
I
comes up.
need I do need to get that appointment, so maybe she's pushing me in that direction.
Maybe it's something you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that you've been thinking about, but do take it. Maybe go get it kind of checked out because that's something that she was bringing to me as well.
Okay.
Um, And one other thing that she's kind of referencing me is Disneyland. That does come up sometimes in readings, but I don't think you've gone. I think that this is something that is coming. So I don't know if like one of your kids have recently just asked for it or talked about it or something like that, or if this is your awareness or your plans. But what I am feeling very much and saying, and I know we're in Canada, it's complicated across the border and all that stuff, but I do feel like you will be going. And I feel
Okay.
like this is part of a plan. Um, so is this something you've been thinking about or saving for?
It was a plan for my partner's 40th last year, which we
Okay,
didn't get to do because of COVID. But we were, very excited about taking the kids there, and
good.
we obviously had to cancel those plans. So that makes sense to me.
Good. Okay. Because it's like I don't see any memories of you being there, but I have to reference. And again, sometimes spirit just wants to bring through information that's current and happening so that you can have peace of mind when we log off today, that she's still so invested in your life and still so, so interested
Yeah.
in your life. Um, do you make things like crafting things? Like, why do I see you selling things that you make? What is this? I'm not.
I don't. I'm not particularly crafty, but I know that I have that like creativity in me. I just kind of need to.
Sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Because has there been this desire? I feel like this is coming from mom, but it's also coming from you. It's like I want to do something different. I kind of want to do something more creative, it's like this real desire. And this could be like coming around the last 3 years. I think is kind of like this energy of like, what am I doing?
Yes.
This is not what I want to be doing, and it's fine and dandy. It's not like it's awful, but it's like I know
Mhm.
that there's more for me. You know what I mean? And the energy, like, and I feel like this is a blend of what your energy is giving me, but also what mom's kind of springing in is like this desire to be creative. Because I actually see you younger being really involved in music and art and and it's often things that we were interested in as kids that as an adult, when we fully adult, we're like, we want to go back to some of that. And I feel that there's very much a permission slip from mom, permission slip from the soul, not like you even need it, to
Yeah.
really start prioritizing that, because I do get the sense that you want to work for yourself. And you can feel but you're like, what is the thing? And it's almost like starting that creative path is going to start bringing you some clarity and ideas around
Yeah.
what you want to do. So what spirit is showing me, and I'm just moving energy over into a little bit more psychic, if that's okay. And I won't leave mom quite yet, but I do have to say this is, I do very much get the sense that you will be working for yourself, but you just don't know quite yet. But what I feel very much is that key is actually getting back into that creative energy. Did you used to draw
Okay.
quite clearly? Because I'm seeing you be able to draw.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like get out a pen and paper and just start drawing like you're a kid again. And it's
Ah,
almost like it's seriously, and bring it to your kids. Yeah, I'm a witchy woo lady. I had both my kids bring out their journals last night and make them do like moon lists with me. They're
ah,
only like 5 and 7, right? And I'm like,
yeah,
because that's what I want to do. And so maybe what I see is you kind of around the table and everyone's just kind of like drawing and spending that time. And, a lot of times as moms, we think that everything we want to do is taking away from that time, but we can actually involve them
yeah,
and have it unfold in that way. So I feel very much that the next steps for you in the next direction is very much around tapping into that creativity that you really, really prioritized as a kid, right? And we're so
yeah.
free about it. But you have to be free with it. And then
Hmm.
inspirations will start coming. For some reason, if I were to just throw out what I'm sensing, but please, you have divine free will to make your own choices. Like you're gonna be selling things that you make. So whether this is art or ends up unfolding into something else, I don't know. You don't know. So it's just
Yeah.
gonna be playing in that kind of energy. Um,
Okay.
but mom is the one who kind of brought it through where she's just like, she doesn't want to work for anyone else. And I get
No,
that. I'm an
I'm
entrepreneur.
over it.
Yes. And so this is kind of like the advice I would say comes from mom, your spirit around
Well,
this. Okay.
that makes so much sense to me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
needed to hear that.
Yeah. Is it kind of like wrap up my energy with mom's energy. She really wants you to know how proud you make her. Like how proud you make her. And I think that's not really important to hear that from her because I don't think that this is stuff that we say to each other in the here and now. And I don't think that she
Yeah.
said it enough to you, but she really admires you and she really admires your courage and the fact that you're able to like pick up and go travel the world and start a family and on the opposite side of the world. Like she's always really admired you in your courage and in your strength. And that really comes from her heart to you. But the way that she brings it to me is like, we're not done yet. Right. And she's still extremely invested in your experience here. And she's going to continue to let you know that she's very much around. So you're going to continue to get those flower signs. You're going to continue to get like thoughts drop into your head. She makes me feel you're quite intuitive as well. And you can actually tell when like thoughts are coming in that are not necessarily yours. So she's going to continue communicating that way too. And if you hadn't had a dream where you can actually smell her yet, like that is coming too. You'll be able to smell her. You still remember how she smelled, hey?
Hmm.
Yeah. So she's going to bring you that experience as well. Um, was it just recently your birthday or one of your kids? Like very recently would be like this week, next week, last week kind of thing.
Um, it was Murphy's birthday in August,
Okay, that's too
and
far
that's
away.
when you said the August. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, maybe that's where we're going with that. But recent birthdays,
it's fine.
no.
It's okay because sometimes they just make me feel like celebrating you, right? And so typically when I'm like, well, birthdays are a celebration. So we'll just leave it
Yeah,
there. But just know her energy is very strong. And though she's been gone a while and mom tried to come through in a previous reading though. I do feel very much. Do you know that? Like she tried to come through. Did you get that experience with her?
I did.
Yeah.
It was very, very brief, and there was nothing to kind of like back it up. So for me,
Evidential.
I was a little bit skeptical.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, do you get sense like you heard from her today, like her energy coming through? Because she's going to very much feel like she's going to continue to come through for you.
I feel like she's around all the time.
Yeah.
So I've definitely my nerves have calmed down since we touched on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I know there's around readings, like, there's always like expectations as a reader. That's one of the things that we always have to learn to manage is working in that energy of expectation. And so, yeah, she's a beautiful communicator and she will come through again. She's like, basically like, this isn't the last you've heard of me. Right. So I do know that she'll come through going, and now, because I prepared you for this to talk to her and let her know some of the things that you wanted to know about, it's easier for us as mediums to connect when you do that.
Yeah.
Right. So anytime you ever have a reading, and this is also like if somebody else ever listens, like it's really good to do that. So it kind of builds the energy and the need around it. Were there any questions that you had for mom or granny?
Definitely, like everything that they've brought to me is a personal experiences, but I just wondered if they had anything for my sisters.
Oh, for your sisters. Okay, sure, of course. Are they twins or are they very close in age?
No, but me and my middle sister, we're about 2.5 years apart.
Okay. Okay, so we'll see if I can do this. I'll try my very best. Let me see, because I see them there together. They must live nearby each other or something, or be closer in not like a relationship, but like close. I see this like closeness because they're standing together. At first, I was like, well,
Yeah,
maybe they're the same age, but they must like live really close or be really close to one
they
another.
are. Yeah.
Is someone named Pat or Patty in your family? Like I'm sorry, but sometimes things just kind of drop in and I have to say them. Is there a Pat or Patty or Patricia
Um,
with you? If not, if it doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Okay. See, what happens is because mediumship has to be evidential, right? So before I just pass along messages to somebody who's like not here, I have to try to bring through something that gives me confidence, like I'm connected and I'm with them. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to establish, so I'm not just passing along willy-nilly messages of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So when I try to tune into these sisters who are across the world, they live very close together. Does one of them do hair or one of them do a connection to hair of some kind?
Yeah, Stacy was training to be a hairdresser.
Okay, thank you. So this is what I need. I need some sort of like for me, like, okay, I'm connected in. So I have that. And then I don't know why I want to laugh about this, but I don't know if you can validate this, but I feel like one of them has like constant car troubles or something like that. Like can you validate this?
Yeah, Stacey recently had a car accident where um she got injured to the point where she needs some back surgery.
Oh wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry to laugh. It's like I don't know why they brought it through like that, where it's like, is someone like having constant like car troubles, like just can't catch a break when it comes to vehicles and cars,
yeah,
right?
that sounds
And
like Stacey.
okay, so I don't mean to laugh about that. That's not something to laugh about, but that's how the energy kind of came through for me. Okay, so I feel like I'm connected then. We got the car, we got the hair, we got the fact that they're very close together. I feel very much like saying to them, I feel like this is from mom, is that she's so proud of how they were able to stay closely connected through all these years. And I also get the sense that they're carrying through Christmas traditions. And there's another tradition. It's maybe not something we celebrate so much in Canada. It's like a Saint's Day or something like that. Or there's like another holiday that may be more tied to your culture than what we have going on here. But there's like traditions that they're carrying on. Now, I also get the sense like they still have Christmas decorations from their childhood that they put up on the trees. And I'm not sure if there's I'll just say it how I'm seeing it, like the lighting of candles is
Great.
very, very, very important. Do you understand this?
Mhm.
And do you
Yeah.
understand the Christmas references and like the Christmas decorations, Christmas traditions,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
It was
so
always a big deal in our house.
okay, so the message I really get for them is like this sense of pride. Spirit usually always comes through like this big sense of like beaming pride that they're really honoring the family traditions and they're actually going to continue to go on in their kids. Do they have 3 kids between them? Why do Spirit keep coming up with 3 kids? Is there like 2 and 1?
There is so there's us three sisters, and then I guess it's that would be the grandkids. So there's
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the grandkids, 2 and
yeah,
1. So your 2 sisters would have 3 kids between them, 2 and 1.
I have two, and then my younger sister has one. So there's three grandkids. She's got
Okay.
a older boy, and I've got the two.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Because that's how they're bringing it through to me. It's like, again, like I have to try to be as evidential as possible. It's like I see the grandkids and that this is being passed on to the grandkids, but it's important to say that there's two and there's one when it
Yeah.
comes to the grandkids. And so know that they're really, and it's all the relatives, I call them ancestors, like on the other side, that are like really happy about this. And I feel too, it's important to recognize the faith that I think at least one of them has continued on in the faith of the family. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And so just really recognizing and celebrating that as well. And so that's like a big honoring that they want to give as well. And then I also have to recognize family recipes that have been passed down. I feel like going back to granny days, like little recipes on little cards that are kind of the way she shows it to me, it's like not a neat and tidy book. It's like it's messy, it's cluttered, it's not structured, and it's absolutely perfect. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And there's like a calling between the sisters of, hey, what's this recipe and what's this recipe, and like the sharing of the recipes. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah. That
So
makes a lot of sense.
Granny, like, and my crown just goes crazy as I bring that through, because she's like, yes, like I was
Yeah.
a good cook, simple but tasty.
Yeah.
She also, again, just wanting to bring some lightness around this, like she's like, but there's too much substituting of ingredients. Like there's like too much substituting going on, which we kind of do now, and she kind of recognizes that. I feel very much, if I can be specific, this is about a bread recipe of some kind, like a pastry
Okay.
bread recipe. So one of you will probably know this, but somebody's like substituting something like super important. I'm telling you what I'm hearing. I don't know what this is, because the last thing I like to do is cook or bake, but it's like tartar. But I don't think it's like the fish and chip tartar, you know what I mean? I don't know what that is. It feels like a powder to me of some kind. I don't know why I'm seeing this or why I'm hearing this. Someone will have to tell me if they even know what this is, but
I
this is
will get
what
to the bottom of that, but I think I know what you're talking about.
it's like a really rare powder of some kind, you know? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
anyways, this is kind of what she's bringing through. And, you know, Grammy really wants you to know too that you're a lot like her, like really, really strong, and never forget that strength. I think that's really, really important to bring through for you to know, because I feel very much that she can recognize that you may have lost like a little bit of trust in yourself. You know, we do, as we get knocked down by life, without a doubt. But she's like, never forget where you come from. Never
Love
forget.
that. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's really, really important. So yeah. So I feel that that's us. How do
Wow.
you feel?
Um I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I knew that some of this stuff was coming up today, so I think that's where the nerves were coming from. I
Mm,
did prepare myself for not having anybody come through.
mm.
But I'm just so surprised that the way that it went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'm gobsmacked. Like I am I can't believe that some of this stuff that was like, if this is the sign that you give me, then I know that it's you. So yeah, it's wild. I'm still kind of trying to digest what just happened. That
No
was
worries. It's probably going to take
amazing.
you a day or two to digest it fully. And, you know, I knew I had to read for you. I was very drawn to you. I don't read for everybody. You know, I have a waitlist kind of going, and I just felt so compelled through spirit to reach out to you. So
Hmm.
I love doing readings like that, because it makes me feel, I don't get nervous going into them, because I was like, you brought this person to me, so I know I'm the perfect medium for this person. Because as you've experienced with past readings, not every reader is a match for every sitter. And I think that this is just a good example of me following my intuition to invite you into the space with me, because spirit has deemed me the right reader for
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm incredibly honored to be able to sit with you today and get to bring through your loved ones and bring you a bit of closure, a little bit of magic. And
You don't know how much it means to me. Like all of that stuff is stuff that I don't even talk to people about. So for me, being able to connect with both of them was insane.
Yes.
Like,
Well, and you have a lot more spirit than that around you, but very rarely are we going to be able to, I feel like a dad energy too, but that might be a different reading because not every spirit can come through in every reading. That would
yeah,
be insane, but you have a lot more spirit than that all around you. So yeah, they're very drawn to you, right? They're very
whew,
drawn to you.
yeah, I've been told that before. Yeah,
Yeah, it was lovely. You have beautiful energy.
thank you. I
Yeah.
so do you. I just feel so comfortable with you, and I just feel like this was just meant to be. I
Yes.
do. Thank you so much. You've just given me so much, and I don't know if you understand that, but I just feel so at peace after that. Thank
Awesome.
you.
I'm so glad. I see nothing to be nervous about.
I know. And then I was listening to your podcast yesterday, and you said like I get this energy. It's not nervous, but I'm like
Yeah.
activating, and I was like,
Yes.
it was like when I feel nervous, then I'll try and kind of
Yeah.
shy away from something. But I was like sitting in front of my screen, like ready for it to happen, but at the same time I felt nauseous. So it was like a excited, nervous energy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And I always say like I feel like barfing whenever spirit comes near. And I was getting ready for a reading on Monday and I was making coffee in the morning and I went, my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, it's what happens when my nervous system prepares to connect. And when spirit comes near, it does feel a bit like anxiety, right? Like it's heart palpitating. It's, I get like a little bit flushed and stuff like that. And that's just the way I react when spirit comes near. Other people react very differently. So I think a lot of people who think that they have anxiety actually have intuitive awareness of the spirits around them.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
well, keep in touch with me. I'm not out in town very much, but if you ever see me, stop and say hi, please.
I will do. Yeah. I might give you a hug after the pandemic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, love.